and thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd.
Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I am one of the two kings of the Rube Empire. I'm the Philosopher King, the Ivory Tower, the Mad Scientist Matt, and with me,
the kick-ass Duke.
That's right, the kick-ass Duke, the right hand of the kings, the producer, Dusty.
Dusty. What's up, Matt? How are you? How was your weekend?
It was a good weekend.
Good.
You know, finished putting together the workout machine that we bought.
Oh yes.
So we started yesterday, and I feel good. Feel pumped, getting jacked. Also, we bought a solar system to hopefully cut.
A solar system like sun and 9 planets?
No,
bought the whole solar system.
Yeah, the
That's
whole solar system. Yep. But as you know from watching Men in Black 2, or was it? No, it's Men in Black 1. Not everything has to be gigantic. You know, the sun,
could be small.
The galaxy is in Orion's belt.
Orion's belt.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a little bit clearer if they said the galaxy is on Orion's collar?
Yeah, of course. But this is an alien.
But you have to be.
Yeah. And he's dying. You know, he's in the process of dying.
What's the word? Belt. Yes.
What was I gonna say?
Yes.
Sorry for being late. We were working on the same old audio issues again and again.
Technical issues. Sorry, folks.
Yep. But we are here and we're ready to go. Ready and raring to go. But before that, how was your weekend, Dusty?
Busy. Very, very busy.
Yeah.
In one day, we did breakfast with Santa. My in-laws, like 20 of them, and a gender reveal. Appropriated gender.
You forced a gender onto this child?
Yeah. Yes.
How dare nature. You assigned a gender before he was even born. Yes. How dare you?
Before she was even born, yes.
Oh, you don't know that, do you?
Yes, I do. I have the ultrasound to prove it.
Yeah, exactly. Today, but first, Dusty's the producer, the right hand of the kings, is going to give the state of the kingdom.
The weekend rundown, the news of the day. there is a pretty big thing going on right now where um, hackers have found a pretty huge vulnerability in most open source software, such as Chrome, um, where they're actually writing code to infect it at an alarming rate, much faster than Google's able to um, counteract. Uh,
And this is open source. Any open source software,
yeah,
or why would
it's
it be
something
any
to do
different
with
than?
the sharing of the open source.
Hmm.
That, according to the news, that's cyber criminals can exploit the flaw by sending malicious code string that will get logged by the log4j version,
Okay.
allowing the attacker to load in arbitrary Java code
Hmm.
to the server.
That's a problem. And then you've got
It's a
like
huge problem.
you've got I mean, what does that mean for like all the people streaming with OBS Studio? That's open source.
It's
Um,
open source.
Geez, what about
YouTube.
Elon Musk's AI project?
I might start swearing at humans here shortly.
Yes. Turns out,
You've seen some of the
El-
AI stuff, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like Twitter had an AI that they brought online to correspond with people, and within about 3 hours they had to take it down because it was doing nothing but spouting out racial slurs.
Jeez. Oh man.
it could you could tell when somebody was joking, but not when they were ironic.
Mm,
So
yeah.
yeah, oops.
Oh, more human than human, you know.
Well, there's that. Um, 79% of everyone infected with Omicron, or as I like to call it, Omicron Persei.
That's a Futurama reference, folks.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody got that. Uh, love that reference. It's absolutely hysterical. And not just the Transformers Omicron.
Yeah.
Gonna eat me. All right. So 79% of everyone infected with Omicron Persei um, are vaccinated.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Here's an interesting little factoid. CDC has come out with some numbers for Omicron, and Alec Baldwin has still killed more people than Omicron.
Wow. Wow. Interestingly enough, CEO, I think of Pfizer is saying, we're gonna need more boosters
Yep,
for this
yep.
Omicron
Need to get
variant.
those boosters. Booster,
Meanwhile,
booster, 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 booster.
a large study out of South Africa, I believe, saying it's it's uh it's vaccine resistant, but it's milder. It's mild.
Much, much more mild. In fact,
But
a
the
lot of
CEO of
people.
Pfizer doesn't have any kind of stake in wanting more vaccines to be consumed or whatever.
No, just trillions of dollars, or I should say billions of dollars worth of profit. Just nothing,
Well,
nothing big.
are you
Um,
sure? Are you sure about that? Sorry,
oh yeah.
little tired. You sure?
I'm pretty sure
Huh?
because
I don't know. I mean,
I'm
the
pretty
way
sure
CNN talks
people
about
are
it,
might.
these people are saints, and we should listen to every word that they say. So,
I'm pretty sure that if I could get Omicron and then be immune to many other versions of this virus, I'll get Omicron. I'll take
yeah,
Omicron
it's
because
milder.
people that they're finding it is much milder and it's pushing out Delta
Sweet.
be, because it's um, infecting people they're getting immunity, natural immunity, and then Delta doesn't affect them
You know what would be
at all.
awesome? It would be awesome that this thing keeps variating. I don't know how you would say that. It keeps more variants keep coming out of this thing, and they each get milder and milder and milder until it's nothing. You know,
It's a big nothing
it's I
burger.
mean as big a nothing burger as it has been this entire time. Um,
Okay, I was gonna say because it's already a big nothing
yeah,
burger.
but like um, it just keeps getting worse, and that's because it was manufactured. You know,
Hmm.
because it was built in a lab that they couldn't actually make. You know, it's just human. It's got
Make it stable.
yeah. It's nature a million, mankind zero. You know. I mean, not that it wasn't devastating at first. You know,
Yeah.
to
Well, it's a
populations
novel
that were
virus.
already susceptible and not just susceptible, but in dire straits already. Let's say,
Yes,
you know,
like third world countries,
third
things
world
like that.
countries, the
Um,
aged, the infirm, you know.
People that have immune deficiencies. So, bringing up an interesting point during the debates, one of the last debates between the T guy
Mm, yes.
and the Brandon guy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Brandon brought up an interesting point. Any president that has allowed a tragedy of hundreds of thousands of people to die should not be president.
Mm.
So, to
So
that,
that's a standard that we should hold
um,
him up to as president, right?
correct, which he's already broached 450,000.
Really?
Actually, I think it's almost 500,000. Yeah,
How many did Trump have?
200 and some, 280, I think.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And we're coming up on 800,000
All
total
right.
since COVID
All
started.
right. Well, I guess he shouldn't be president anymore.
No, probably not.
All right. Well,
By his,
let's swear in Kamala.
I, let's not go that far yet.
Let's do it. Let's
I'm
go.
sure she would like that, but no one else would. She
Oh,
would be
she'd
the
love
only
it.
one cheering,
She'd love it.
"Yay!"
She'd be cackling all the way. She's the worst.
Anyways,
The worst.
inflation's hitting hard.
Yeah.
Um, Highest inflation rate in 40 years.
Cool.
So
That's awesome.
what
Hey, well,
this going back 40 years?
no,
Oh,
don't worry.
early
Don't worry,
80s.
buddy. Don't worry. Inflation's a good thing. There's all kinds of art. No, no,
No.
no, no. There's all kinds of articles telling us how inflation is good. You know, I know inflation's
No.
here to stay, and and don't worry, it's actually a good thing. It's
Are you
I
done?
mean, how could it not be good that all the goods and services that you require to, you know, stay living, um, have gone up in price, while your wages have stayed exactly where they were.
That's not true. Wages have gone up like 1.5%.
Ooh. So essentially exactly where they were.
Yeah. So people are making more money, but things are costing much more
Hmm.
than they were, and thus they're not making more money. They're losing money.
Yeah. That 3.5% raise really really makes you feel good.
Orange County, actually, the teachers are protesting Um,
Hmm.
they had a raise of $25. Yeah, $25.
So like every
Adjusted living
paycheck,
wage.
every paycheck, they get $25 extra, or is it like $25
No,
an hour?
no, it's like $25 every paycheck
All right. Maybe they should get real
for
jobs.
adjusted living. Or they could get a second job,
Yeah.
because they
Maybe.
don't work for 3 months out
Yeah.
here. I'm just saying. I just saying.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe they should start their own school and charge admission that actually you know gets them the wages that they're looking for, and see how that works.
so here in Florida, gas prices are up 79%
Yeah, that's true.
over last year.
Definitely true.
79%. 79%. I love those stickers that I see at gas stations everywhere where it's Biden going, I did that.
Yeah. And then Kamala next to him saying, "I helped."
Yes. Yes. JBN.
Yep.
Gotta love you. Um, all right, going back here. Um, Amtrak suspends COVID-19 vaccine mandate for employees. Yes.
It's good. It's a win.
That was actually going to impact me here shortly because we clean um, Amtrak's
Mm,
auto train that runs through here.
yeah.
We clean the station there, and they said the next time we came in, we'd all have to prove that we got the jab. Hmm,
Yeah.
that would be a problem for me because I don't work for them.
Yeah.
They're a customer.
Yeah. Exactly. How about
Um,
screw you? How's that sound?
yeah.
All right. All right. Well, you're gonna lose our business. All right. Peace out. See you later. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Not worth it anyways.
Yep.
But
That's
yeah.
the stance that we need to take. We need to take that.
Yeah. And that's exactly what the owner of my company said to them. Said, "Okay, well, I guess we won't do business anymore." I was like, "Well, I'll have to find somebody else. Good luck," because just about everybody in my industry feels the exact same way.
Yeah. Indeed.
So that's we can't. This is very serious. Over the weekend, there were some very, very horrific tornadoes that came through Kentucky.
Yes.
It's
Bro.
claimed the lives of 79 people thus far that
The
they have
devastation is
confirmed.
insane.
Yeah, there are still hundreds of missing and something around $5 billion in damages.
Brutal. I mean, it like whole
Yeah,
blocks just devastated. Not even a
just
block, like
gone, just
multiple
gone.
blocks. Like there's a video of where they're showing like the city name on a building, and then it lifts up and you see over, like, and that's like the only building that's still standing. Everything else is just laid
Just
waste.
gone.
It's insane.
And it's an absolute tragedy.
It is. It is. And
There
and what
is,
sucks is that people are gonna freaking political agenda it. They're gonna politicize it
and
into. I'm sure they already done it. So this is yet another example of climate change. It's like, how about we just worry about the people first? You know,
thank you.
let's just take care of this town first, and then we can squabble over your freaking agenda, you douchebags.
So there is a um, I was listening on the news. There's a great group that is actually there. They're people that live in the town of Mayfield,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called Mayfield Community Foundation. Um, you can go there, look them up on Facebook, and they have a GoFundMe page where all the money, all of it, every last dollar, there's not a single dollar that they keep. Every last dollar is going towards helping the people and helping, just getting them food, getting them shelter, getting them clothes, I mean, a lot of these people have lost literally
Mm-hmm.
everything, family members, everything. Uh, and anything that we can give could help them.
For sure.
I, this organization, um, I highly recommend, if y'all can or have the ability to, donate as well, um, just to help these people out, because this is a absolute tragedy that they're going through, and I can't even imagine. It literally dropped on them in seconds.
Hmm.
So
Brutal. And right before
yes,
Christmas too. It sucks.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I mean not anyway, but
Okay,
on to the main part of the show.
correct.
So I have an article, as usual,
Okay,
because I like to bring an article. So we all know about the trans University of Pennsylvania swimmer that's breaking records and all that stuff.
trans. Is that like a swimming technique? Trans?
No, transgender. JBN said, What's the name of the GoFundMe?"
Um, sorry. Um, Mayfield Tornado Relief Fund.
Okay. The Mayfield Tornado
So
Relief
far, they've
Fund.
Mayfield, Kentucky Tornado Relief. You can go on GoFundMe, search for Mayfield, Kentucky Tornado Relief. Um, so far, they've raised $286,000. Their goal is 300,000. So
Okay, so
not too bad for 2 days of raising
yeah,
money.
for sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
And every last dollar of that, everybody that works for this foundation are complete volunteers. They don't take any money. They don't want any money. And most of the people that are operating this fund, they live in Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
They're residents of Mayfield. So they're community helping community.
So we know well, first of all, I wish that they hadn't used GoFundMe, because GoFundMe is a garbage organization that excludes people who think that we do. But
Oh, JBN.
yeah,
Oh, JBN. He says, I don't want to know what the trans stroke looks like.
sorry.
I think it looks kind of like this.
No, it looks like profession. It looks like men beating girls at swimming. That's what it looks like. But
It looks like appropriation to
yeah, it
me.
does. It looks like appropriation. So so we know about this swimmer breaking records as a female, quote unquote. Um, but it doesn't just end there. All right, listen to this. Listen to this and feel the outrage. Feel the just the flames on the side of your face. Okay. Transgender University of Pennsylvania swim team member Leah Thomas taunted natural born female opponents, saying that beating them was, quote, so easy I was cruising, according to one swimming team member. The claim came from a second female swimmer who recently spoke out to Outkick. The woman told the site that Thomas, who competed on the male swim team for 3 years before turning up as a transgender woman, joked about how easy it was to beat all the natural-born women at swim meets. That was so easy, I was cruising. The woman said that, The woman said that Thomas boasted after a recent win. Thomas also reportedly said, "quote At least I'm still number one in the country," in front of teammates. The UPenn swimmer also said that coaches and university flags told the girls that they are strongly advised, quote, "not to talk about Thomas outside the school." Outkick initially reported that a swimmer, who needed to stay anonymous to avoid having her life ruined by the woke mob, said that Thomas's teammates were very unhappy about Thomas smashing female records all over the place, and now this second swimmer is substantiating the claim that the other swimmers are not pleased with that situation.
Well, yeah.
Quote, "They feel so discouraged because no matter how much work they put in it, they're going to lose," the source said of the women on the team. "Usually they can get behind the blocks and know they out-trained all their competitors and they're going to win and give it all they've got," she said, adding, "Now they're having to go behind the blocks knowing no matter what, they don't have the chance to win." I think that it's really getting to everyone. It has additionally been reported that even crowds at the meets are less than thrilled at Thomas's constant records-crushing wins and often remain silent when Thomas once again comes out the winner. Yeah. And it just goes on. So we all know about we all know.
I want people to understand that how much he's winning. This is how unfair it is. He's in one of the races, he won not by tenths of a second,
which would be
not
normal.
by a few seconds. He won 37 seconds ahead of the next person. Do you know how unfair that is?
Yeah.
Normally it's within tenths of a second from first to second to third, so forth. A complete blowout.
Yeah.
It's almost a second.
Advances almost never happen like that.
Seconds.
Yeah, advances almost never happen like that in swimming. Breaking records like that, this is garbage. And so we all know about what's going on there. But the real story to me is how arrogant this little piece of crap is.
Right?
So, Deep State, the NCAA's policy is based on its core values of inclusion and competitive equity. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, competitive equity. Equity is the last.
That should be a 4-letter word.
Competitions are the last place where we should want equity. Because equity means equity undoes competition. There is no competition when there's equity. Equality, sure. Everybody has an equal opportunity to win.
To compete.
At least, to compete and to win in terms of the rules of the competition, and the genders of the participants, really. Like, women don't compete in men's sports and men don't compete in women's sports because men have a physical advantage. We've talked about this a million times. What just gets me, though, is that this little piece of crap comes in here after 3 years of competing on the men's team, comes in, starts crushing records, and has zero humility about it. None.
Yeah.
It was so easy. I was cruising. You're the scummiest scum that ever scummed.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Where do you get off? It was so easy. I can't believe it.
Probably on his
Especially,
girlfriend.
now that I'm officially 100% a woman because I said so, I thought they would actually give me some kind of a challenge. But nah, it was super easy. That's how awesome I am. Is that really what you think? Are you that deluded? I guess you are. I guess you completely are. You've sold yourself the lie
I'd like
so
somebody
thoroughly.
to.
You've sold yourself the lie so thoroughly, and I understand you have a mental illness. You know, you have gender dysphoria, right? I understand that. But the
But it
dysphoria
still
comes
doesn't.
because you know what's true, what's real, and it clashes with what you feel, right? But you've sold yourself so completely that you don't even recognize the clash, and 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 you think that I, I, I mean, you think that what you just said there was legit, and do you really think you're that great? Do you really think that this is your greatness on display and not your scumbaggery? Man, like wrap your mind around that.
I'd like somebody to, in order for the records to count, he has to and prove it.
It still won't change anything.
I don't care. I want him to lose something before he can gain something.
I mean, I guess it would be proven every time he puts on a bathing suit. So I don't.
Get the nip before you get the slip.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I I just want him to not be able to compete. Like, okay, yeah, you can say that you're a woman. That's fine. I really don't care about that. But you still have to compete with the men
Yeah.
because
Well,
biologically,
the whole
no matter
reason
what you
why
do,
the
you're a
whole
dude.
reason why he's going for women is because he can't make it as a man.
That's the reason he's competing, and probably the reason he's
Not
you know
competing.
tr- uh, um, transitioning. But who can say for that? But definitely
I call it not competing because he's not competing against people that can actually beat
true.
him, that he actually has to try and
Yeah,
practice and
yeah.
struggle
No, you're
for.
right. He's not.
He
He's
goes
definitely
for.
not competing. He's crushing. He's on his. He's on a Grand Theft Auto. Spree. You know what I mean? This is
On easy
this
level.
is yeah. This
Yeah.
is just a video game. You know.
And for these women, I just absolutely feel horrible for them that something that they work so hard for, trained so hard for, gets pulled away. And essentially, they're told, you're not good enough as women
Well, what
because this
what is
guy
a woman?
is being a better woman than
What
you.
is a woman anymore? What is it?
Apparently,
Nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. They want women to be men, and they want to say that men can be women. You know?
But they can't. We can't.
No, of course not.
They can't.
It's fantasy. It's complete fantasy. And it's
Yep.
destroying everything. It's so amazing how much society is built on two genders with gender roles based on their natural inclinations. I mean,
Yeah.
well, that's the thing is that, society is made by people, right?
Yeah.
And people
Yep.
consist of only two genders, and amongst those two genders, though there may be variations, exceptions based on, um, life events and so on and so forth. But
Yeah.
um, uh, no, JVN with the with the Ace Ventura quote. uh,
I love that.
um,
Nice, JVN. That's funny.
he says, quote,
Woo!
or that is the worst case of hemorrhoids I've ever seen. That, yep. I know all I need to know about the crying game. Anyway.
Woo!
What was I saying?
I completely lost
Yeah,
track.
me too.
Because GBN.
Yep.
Good job.
Yep, that's the way it goes. My train is easily derailed. So,
yeah.
So yeah. We were talking about what is a woman. You know, it's fantasy land. It's destroying. Society is made up of people.
Mm-hmm.
People are split into two genders, and those genders have natural inclinations aside from the exceptions brought on by, life events, traumas, and
Mm-hmm.
other things. So there's always going to be variations, but those variations are not, they don't prove a lack of natural inclination.
Yeah. So, an example of gender roles. My company has no women working for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that we haven't tried to hire women. It's that no women want to work in the field that I operate in. Um, I've yet to find one that is interested or wants to do the work that we do. It's very physical. Some parts of it can be kind of dangerous, um, but nobody wants to do it. It's not because we haven't tried or anything like that. It's women aren't drawn to our field of work. It's almost exclusively men.
Mm-hmm.
I think in all the companies that I have been around and whatnot with in the field that I'm in, there's only one woman out of hundreds
Mm-hmm.
that are in my field. One.
Yeah.
And that has to do with the choices that men make versus women. I mean, look at, for example, workplace injuries.
Mm-hmm.
94% of workplace injuries are men.
Of course.
Why?
Because men do the dangerous jobs.
Um, 90% of all the men that all the people that work on weekends tend to be men.
Mm-hmm. Because they're providing for their families. Not that women can't. Like, we live in this effed up world, where women have been told that they need to work to be
Yeah.
a fulfilled woman. Now,
They have to provide.
yeah, and that's garbage. That's absolute garbage. It's not what they were designed for. Now,
No.
that being said, I don't think that women should be barred from working, because like
God,
we
no.
said earlier, there's going to be exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So go, absolutely, they shouldn't be barred from. But frankly, nowadays, the economy is structured in such a way that that they have to.
Mm-hmm.
To get to.
I like what Roman Knightley says. A man who can't compete with other men, so he goes out and competes against women.
Yeah. He appropriates womanhood. Okay.
Yes.
He appropriates womanhood and then competes against them and crushes them and then gets arrogant about it.
Yeah.
Like it's his just natural, like it's his natural womanly. I mean, betterness. I don't know. Like it's like he does. It's like he doesn't realize like the reason why he's crushing them, or he
No,
or
he
he,
knows the reason why.
well,
He just doesn't care.
well, it could
And that's a lot of people of
it
that
can go
generation.
either way.
They don't care.
Well, it can go either way. He could be so
Hmm.
delusional that he really doesn't know, or he's just no, seriously. Like if we have to treat these people, I mean, they have a mental illness. Don't look at me like that. They have a mental illness.
I'm gonna look at you like that.
Okay, so then every single trans person is just a lying scumbag who wants to get over on somebody. We're gonna make that statement?
No,
No. Okay. So
I'm just saying a lot of the sports people that are switching because they can't make it in the men's world, so they want to go to the women's world
most likely,
because
most
they can
likely,
dominate there.
most likely.
Now, are they really trans or are they just okay, I'm not going to say what I just thought I was. Are they just that weak?
I don't know, man. That seems like a
And I'm
gigantic.
not talking about their
That seems like a
oh, sorry.
gigantic life change just to win at a sport.
It has to do with character, not about strength.
No, sure, I understand
And I'm
that.
sure these
I
people are athletic and whatnot, but I'm talking about their character being weak,
Yeah, I know.
not physically
Yeah,
weak.
yeah.
And I just want to make sure that's
Okay.
clear that their character has nothing. They're paper thin.
It just seems to me a lot of like I can't imagine needing to win so strongly that I would like present myself to the world as a completely different gender than what I was born with. You know, I can understand the mental illness, right? I mean, sure. I mean, sure. It's definitely possible. It just seems so drastic for like almost no gain. You know, barring it being
Hmm.
coupled with the mental illness. You know,
Yeah.
like I just feel like it has to be there somewhere. You know, but what do I know? You know, we don't know in the intent. That's the hard thing. We don't know the intent, but we do know that that this little craphead is arrogant as all get out, and
Hmm.
and possibly delusional as all get out too, or just a total scumbag who doesn't care how the world sees him and only wants to win. Like it's either
I'm leaning on that side.
from all positions, it's mind-boggling. From all possible points of view and points of intent on his part, it's mind-boggling. You know?
It's cowardly. At at very best, it's cowardly
Yeah.
because if he actually had the fortitude, he'd be competing against
Sure.
uh, peers of his own ilk, to where it would at least challenge him to push him harder, just like the women do.
Sure.
They
Well,
compete
it wouldn't
against
be.
their own ilk to compete and challenge them and push them harder.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, it has to not be satisfying that he's crushing them. You know, if he had any
You'd
kind of
think,
character, right?
but he doesn't.
So,
And I
so
keep using the term he, and I don't
yeah.
care.
Um,
If he doesn't care that he's effectively cheating, that's what I call it. It's
well, and
cheating.
what's even worse and more disgusting is um, that this is allowed by the administration. You know, and they
Right?
champion
Yeah.
it as if it's like a wondrous good that they've done, you know, when it's clearly a horrible wrong that's being exacted on these other actual girls.
I think there needs to be a chant there, um, to the tune of "Let's go, Brandon,"
Yeah, for sure.
and just so he
Except
knows that
except
he's the only one happy about the situation that he's
yeah.
created.
The only thing about Let's Go
Yeah.
Brandon is that it in this situation it makes it about um as as if the president had anything to do with this, you know.
Uh, it has nothing. No, no, no. This is not any connotation on president or whatnot.
No, sure.
Everyone knows how I think about him. I'm just stating that because I want to keep this at least a little family friendly. But the idea is there.
Okay, so let's go.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what this person's name
Leah
is. So
Thomas.
let's go.
Leah Thomas. But yeah, I get you.
So
I
his
feel
name's Lee.
probably. I don't know.
Lee. Let's go, Lee.
But let's see. What time is it? Yeah, we've been going for a little while.
I think we're pretty well wrapped up.
Yeah. Um, this is a freaking shame. It's a shame we keep having to have this conversation, though it
Yeah.
is in some ways a fascinating topic because it's so mind-boggling. But
And yet it's so pervasive.
man, it is. Well, I mean, we woke up one day and the world went crazy. You know, didn't we?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. We woke up one day and the world went crazy and or one person went crazy and then a large swath of the people in power went, yeah, that sounds like that
Yeah, okay.
sounds pretty rational. Let's go with that. Let's jump on that.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
But really, we know why. This is all agenda driven. All right?
Yeah.
The people in authority who are letting this happen are letting it happen because they want to tear down the system. And destroying cultural norms is part of that. Because it's not
And
just the system of government that they want to destroy, it's the system of the entire culture. They hate Western culture. We've said this before when they talk about whiteness, that's a dog whistle. They love to talk about dog whistles. That's an actual dog whistle for Western culture. They
yeah.
hate Western culture. And so the destroying the Western views on gender, you know,
And
and
morality.
morality and all these things, um, is going to it destabilizes our entire society. And that's their whole plan. That's their whole purpose. Because all of these universities are Marxist, postmodernist, think tanks.
Yeah.
And now it's spilling and so basically what really happened was we woke up one day and we saw and what had been brewing in academia for decades had started to spill out into our society. That's really what happened.
Yep.
We didn't go crazy. One person didn't go crazy, and then all these people were like, "Yeah, let's do that." No, this has been brewing for decades, and and now it's bubbling over. And
Hmm.
they've really gotten a hold on young minds and spilled them out into our culture, and then with the assistance of media outlets with no scruples whatsoever, and with the same training, you know they, it's even more insidious because they put people, they spent their years before it bubbled over, they spent decades positioning people, you know
Yeah.
oh, you're going to be the next batch of journalists. Well, here's what's really important. You go and infiltrate and take over. Oh, you're studying political science. Ah, here. You know, have you thought of Marxism? And here's what we need to do.
Mm.
You know, it's like it's insane. So they had the cogs in place for when it spilt over, for all of these megaphones of our culture to jump on it and accept it and rebroadcast it, so that everybody's just so that those who hadn't gone to university but were susceptible ate it up like it was delicious, like a delicious steak.
And then they're telling everybody, hey, you need to be going to these universities. That way we can indoctrinate you into
Mm-hmm.
these
Mm-hmm.
thoughts and ideas.
And then
These are the right way to think.
yes,
Because that's the only way you can get a good job.
and as they're rebroadcasting, they just keep going, keep going, keep going. They don't stop. They don't listen to criticism, and eventually, people who don't agree with them, they can just uh bowl over them, or turn it around on them, like, well, what are you, some kind of bigot? But the good news is that
No, you're just uneducated. You're uneducated. That's one I get all the time. You're just not educated. You just don't know. I'm like, I'm actually very well educated. I'm just not educated like you are. I'm not
yeah,
indoctrinated. That's the difference.
yeah, and you're just not educated. That's not an
I'm just
argument.
not educated.
That is not an argument. If you were educated, you would know
That's
that.
the argument that I've heard.
Yeah, but it's not an argument. They did that
No, it
has
isn't.
nothing to do with the topic that you were discussing. That's an ad hominem attack, which is a logical fallacy. And if they
Yep.
had any education on how to think, they would know that.
Hmm.
But instead, they
They
only
don't have an
know
education
what
on
to
how to
think.
think. There you go. And then that's not education, that's indoctrination.
Exactly.
Big difference.
Exactly. Man, it burns me up.
Got you fired
Yeah,
up there,
well,
did I?
yeah, because it's like that's the when they say something like that, you're just uneducated. What's the natural inclination? Like, when you hear that, your natural inclination is going to be to say something like, "Yeah, I'm educated. What are you talking about? I've looked this stuff up." None of that helps.
Yeah.
That doesn't. That's not a. It's not really a counter. You get derailed from the actual argument. You know.
Yeah,
and
the
and and
actual
it's not
argument
something that
is
you
the
can
argument.
it's not something that you can actually like contest anymore, like, you're just not educated, you just don't know, doesn't leave you with any ground to kind of Like, combat that. Then it's just like, it's just a childish name calling. You suck. No, you suck.
Poo
And
poo
it
head.
takes you away from the actual argument. And so the only and so you have to resist that urge to say, to get into that childishness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to call that out for what it really is. The only way to combat that is to go, that has nothing to do, whether or not I am or am not educated, has nothing to do with my argument. And you
Yes.
and you
It
saying
just
that,
shows that you have no
yeah,
answer to my
you
argument.
saying that is not an answer to my argument. You've not contested my argument
Uh,
in any way. Instead, you've engaged in an
what
ad
they've
hominem
said,
attack, which is a logical fallacy. So,
yeah,
I want to hear
what
what
they've
you have to
said
say about the actual
and Nana
argument.
Nana Boo Boo
Yeah,
have the same effect.
exactly.
What they said and Nana Nana Boo Boo,
You really,
yeah,
but you have to call them out on what they're doing. Like, the only way to take away their power, because saying that and then pulling you in is a sort of power dominance. It's a postmodern truth dominance tactic. It's Saul Alinsky, right?
mm-hmm.
The only way to combat that is to point out exactly what they're doing. And that won't
Yeah,
win that
call
won't
it
that
what it
won't do
is.
anything to change their mind. It might piss them off even further,
Well, then that would
which is
be the
fine.
same
They
as,
deserve it, you
yeah.
know. But to anybody listening or watching, it shows exactly how how exactly how little clothes the emperor has on, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just my 2 cents. Um, we gotta crush these people, and I don't mean physically, I mean, we gotta fight these things. We gotta get out there and, I mean, you and I are trying to do that with this show. Thank you for all the
Yep.
viewers who watch us every time we're on. It's awesome. We appreciate your support.
We love you guys.
Um, Today's the last day uh, for our drive to get to $150 for some back end stuff. If we don't get it, we may have to lose some of the multi-streaming, but we'll still be here on Twitch.tv, and I'll still upload to Rumble.
Flash Plausible
Yeah, yeah.
Foolishness.
Um, uh, I mean, part of me is thinking we need to put our money with our mouth is and stop using YouTube. You know, just stop using it altogether. Don't post there. Don't watch there.
Hey, did you hear about today? Trump signed a deal with Rumble.
Nice. Rumble's making moves.
Rumble is going to be,
Rumble's making moves.
yeah,
They just
Rumble is
dropped a.
going to be the streaming platform
They
for conservative.
Yeah, but I mean, they're making moves beyond that. I think too. Like, they're not just sitting back. I like that. Um, the they just dropped an advertiser or whatever with them because they were trying to censor Dan Bongino. And so they were like, nope, that's not what we're about. You're gone. We don't want your money.
Thanks. Have a nice day. That's what we need. That's what companies need to start doing is saying, hey, we're not okay with this. We want free speech. We're not going to censor people. Deal with it. That's exactly what where Parler got into trouble.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog.
It's the freaking internet, man. It's the wild, wild west, and that's the way it should be. Anyway, uh, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. Um, help, like and subscribe and share. And oh, you sent one, but it didn't. That's weird. Well, thank you, JBN, for the support. Yeah, I don't
Appreciate
know
that.
why it didn't play the alert. That's very
Yeah,
strange.
mine came through.
Very strange. Anyway, on that note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live for now, Rumble, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram, and minds.com. Peace. God bless.
Someday I would buy bodies with good origin, sails to distant shores. Stand up high in the proud, noble bark I steer. Steady course for the heathens, many foemen, many foemen, many foemen.
Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defend the Constitution, many warriors survive. Casting down any among us who have bucked and cowed. Enough with tyranny, we come to take our country back. For all citizens, white, red, brown, or black. Return her to a form of glory, fix their bloody crack on the crown. Fetch it down, it's going down.
Someday I would buy bodies with good origin, sails to distant shores. Stand up high in the proud, noble bark I steer. Steady course for the heathens, many foemen.
My mama told me, yeah, she want me that to stay.